Ten Hag's fighting talk ahead of the game against Liverpool this afternoon at Old Trafford. Jadon Sancho has come out and said his piece. Well, in minimal terms, we can say that it is official. Sancho is now a Chelsea player and will never play for Manchester United again. Good news there. We're looking ahead to everything that's going on and what Ten Hag has said in his embargoed version of his press conference. The interesting stuff, basically. He is lashing out, calling all of the critics on Manchester United, his style of play, and everything that is expected of a Manchester United manager. It's like a proper sort of Ten Hag. You know what? This season is going to be the one. I am backing myself, and if it goes wrong, so be it. I'll walk away. That's how it looks, but we'll get your opinions on it anyway. Everyone's opinions on what Ten Hag has said, and a few people turncoating on the United manager as well. Another little story regarding Robinson from Fulham creeping out into the news as well. Possibly a January buy, possibly next summer's buy. We'll go into that as well and give details on that. But this is your match day build-up officially. Start of the day, match day, early knockings of the game day, and we are bringing you all Manchester United news as always, early doors. Welcome along, everybody. Get your comments in the live chat. Please do get your comments in below once the video is finished. How are you feeling about today's game? We talked in depth about it last night, who we should play. Ten Hag's fighting talk. Is he right in what he said? Get your comments in on that below. And are you impressed with what Jadon Sancho said in departing Manchester United? We'll get into that as well. Please do give the video a like. Let's get them likes up. Try and get near 1,000 again, everybody. That would be fantastic on game day. And obviously make sure that you are subscribed to Forever United TV and are not missing out on any content. Free content for United daily, live, constantly, bringing you every bit of news coming out of the club. Let's get into what's happening. First of all, let's talk Erik Ten Hag and what was said in that press conference from Friday, but embargoed obviously until game day today. The juicy bits, let's just say, they were the ones that everybody likes to get into. We're going to get straight into this because I want to get your thoughts on it. I mean, it doesn't really bother me anymore with what Ten Hag said. I made my peace with what's actually happening. I know what Ten Hag is like. I know what he wants to do but has struggled to do, and I've seen a few people that actually just blindly backing Ten Hag, now going in on him on social media as well, from some other channels as well. It's quite strange as to what's going on right now. Like, you backed him, so let's back him properly. He's saying what he's saying, and he believes in it. I think some of the words have been, let's just say, lost in translation. We know Ten Hag's English isn't the best. We know sometimes when he wants to put across a message, it doesn't quite come through. And then the quotes, when they're written out, look kind of ridiculous. There may be a case to that, I feel. Well, really, the one that's really getting everybody is what Ten Hag said about how good Manchester United are and how our performances are and where they compare to other clubs, i.e. Manchester City. After City, we won the most trophies in the last 2 years. So we've performed better than anyone else. That's the reality. Those are the facts. Ten Hag said facts, as if we've been performing better than anybody else in the league. Now, I know anyone who is backing Ten Hag would say, look, trophies are trophies. That's what we do. That's our style of play. Our style of play is winning trophies. We got 2 cups in 2 seasons. They are facts, yes. But are we performing better than anybody else? Again, I think that's possibly a lost in translation mark there from Ten Hag. I personally look at it and go, no, we're not performing better than anyone else. We know this, and all United fans, even the biggest Ten Hag backers, are not going to say we are performing better than anybody else. We finished 8th in the league. There's 7 teams that perform better than us, and everyone says your biggest mark is where you finish in the league. That's your bread and butter. And Ten Hag seems to keep forgetting about the league and the performances in last season's Premier League for United, and just talking about the trophies, which is fair. Like, look, winning the FA Cup has got us back into the Europa League draw that we were talking about the other night, and the possibility of winning another trophy that other teams won't have. So I get where he's coming from there, but I just don't think he's balancing it out for people, and he's not convincing the real Ten Hag outers that he is the right man and he is talking sense, because we're not performing. We're not performing better than anybody else. That's clear for everyone to see, and that straight away is a sort of like issue that's been picked up by a lot of people on social media. going in on Ten Hag, saying these words just they don't fit. Like, we're not taking this. This isn't good enough for Manchester United. Of course, like, we need to be better than 8th in the league, but Ten Hag is always going to back what he's won. It's as simple as that. It's about winning trophies. That's all he's ever going to say. It will be interesting to see if. It'll be interesting to see what Ten Hag actually says. If United, say for instance, finish 4th and don't win a trophy, how he sort of changes that around, because this will be his first year as a manager, as he says, without winning a trophy. So that'll be an interesting conversation, I think, with Ten Hag. I don't know if the journalists will save moments like this and then come back and question him, because you know what the journalists are like. They will try and trip him up, obviously. But really, you have to say, look, he's right in what he's saying. We've won 2 trophies. So in terms of winning things, we are better than anybody else apart from City. But performance levels, I personally think he's got performance and actually winning mixed up, and lost in translation side of things is what the headline is in all of this. He goes on to say, this year we want to win trophies, and I'm convinced that we will achieve this. That is what I have done in the last 11 years. He said that after the FA Cup final as well, didn't he? We will continue to work on the process and aim for our goal of winning more trophies. You can only win so many trophies without finishing in the Champions League, though, is what I'll say to that one. Ten Hag on whether the team has progressed and can play better football. You can see where the journalists are going with the actual questions now, can't you? It's like, yes, you've won, but can you play better football? Because your football has been pretty crap throughout the Premier League season, and no one can deny that. No one can deny that. As I said, we have not only progressed, we have also won. We have won trophies, backing it up with trophies again. And this is why I've said, like, what will he do if United do actually manage to play a little bit better in the league and get 4th and then not win a trophy? Is he going to be disappointed in it? That's the question I want answering. It's going to be interesting, because honestly, if he gets top 4 and doesn't win a trophy, he stays for me. That's the benchmark. Champions League football has to be the priority this season. So if he doesn't win a trophy, then I don't care. If he doesn't win a trophy, it's like, as long as you get top 4, as long as we're in the Champions League, I think that is a good season for United from where we're at right now. And Ten Hag should be happy with that. I just feel like he's sort of like jumping the gun a bit in terms of saying, like, we win trophies and that's what it's all about. Because he's going to have to answer questions regarding not winning a trophy but finishing better in the league. And he's sort of like coming back on himself a little bit. Ten Hag on questions about his style of play. It is very subjective, it is. There's only one thing in football, and that's whether at the end of the season you win trophies or not. And I repeat, nobody has done better apart from Man City. So he's really not bothered about the style of play, is what he's saying in that comment there, but it's all about winning trophies and just being up there and getting your name on that silverware. Like, I know, and I have been there in person with Ten Hag, and I know how his quotes can get lost in translation, and he's just going to stick to his guns. And if he wants to do that, he can do that. And if he gets through games and he's won and he finishes in a better position in the league, then no drama, no bother, it would seem, and United move forward from there. Eric Leonard in the chat with a super thank you, mate. Adam here from Canada. Let's go for a pint. November 25th. Who have we got on that day? Ooh, I can't remember who we're actually playing that day. But yes, mate, if you're in town, obviously come and say hello, and we will meet up before the game and have a drink. Right, guys, get into the comment section. Let's talk what Ten Hag has been saying in the press conferences. Are you backing him there? Do you think it is just a lost in translation thing with Ten Hag? Are you worried about us not actually forming a style of play and not performing better on the pitch? Because he says we are performing better than anybody else because we've won trophies. Is that right? I'm asking you guys the question. Let's get into it. Morning, Adam. How's it going, man? Does De Ligt start today? Hoping for this first start. I hope so too, mates. I really do. Amico, I think he will start today. Happy new month, and I hope United bounce back with a Liverpool win. Harris, with you. I hope we do. It'll be a great way to finish this first part of the season. Ten Hag's best ever start to a season, won't it? Sad Manuel Ugarte can't play in the squad, but he's here, and that's important. He would never have played even if he actually was signed in time. That's the word coming from United, so we don't need to worry about that too much, guys. Ten Hag, boom, says Inside United. Are we getting a loan fee for Sancho? No publications have confirmed the 10 million fee, as you said yesterday. Oh, sorry, Almac. Steady on, mate. No, there were reports earlier on in the day, but as the day's gone on, everyone's changed the tune. It's now saying as well, from wages being paid, the Guardian pretty much arguing against what Fabrizio said and other sources said yesterday about Ten Hag. Sorry, not Ten Hag. About United actually paying a little bit towards Jadon Sancho's wages now. Look, at the end of the day, the obligation was negotiated in. Whether there's a loan fee or not, Manchester United will get more for how high Chelsea finish in the league. It changes all of the time. The story did change quite a lot yesterday after what we said. We were only reporting on what was actually said at the time of day, and then it all started to escalate a little bit more as the day went on. So that's where we're at with that one, Al. Do not like Ten Hag. Keep bleating on about winning trophies or the backing up of Rashford, and comments on Maguire. I'll get into them comments as well in a minute. I'm just leaving it to you guys to actually tell me, like, how do you see what Ten Hag is saying right now? Do you believe in him that we are performing better than anybody else because we're winning trophies? Is that what it's all about? Do you sit through a season watching underperforming league performances from these players and then just accept that we have to wait till January onwards for the FA Cup and our performances in that tournament? It's going from, it's like he's saying, like from August to January, don't worry about that. That's not important. It's all about what happens in January in the FA Cup, and we're performing better than anybody else. He just seems to forget about the bad and always talk about the good, which is a positive mindset, I'll say that. But when you've got so many fans going week in, week out who are not enjoying watching their team, and that's the general sort of word coming out at Old Trafford when we speak to fans, it's hard for them to accept what the manager's saying. It's okay for him in his United bubble and saying what he wants, but I think some of the fans are not convinced by it. And again, if we go through a season of not performing in games and really scraping our way through wins, will it be enough? Will it be enough to convince fans that he is the right man? Because they've seen what Ineos have done, and they've seen a commitment from them going forward this season in the transfer market. Do they feel that Ten Hag is the best manager to work with what is a real decent football structure now? This season is massive for that, and I think a lot of people will make their mind up after this season is finished. We are the new Arsenal Cup merchants. We are basically United from the 80s, aren't we? We're a good cup side, which is why I think Europa League's actually our best bet for getting into the Champions League. But I still expect United to be challenging for fourth. Eric Ten Hag had been backed. He needs his strategy to show up this season. Do you know what? Even the ones that were backing Ten Hag at the end of last season, I think even them fans now have looked at this and gone, right, okay, now this season is really important for Ten Hag. He needs to perform. He needs to get a decent style of play, like watch some decent football. We need to see something on the pitch. I think a lot of fans, even the ones that were like full on, like give him a chance, they've seen, like I said, what Ineos have done in backing Ten Hag, and I think now they want results on the pitch, and I think that's what we're looking towards now. The league table does not lie, says Jonathan. Straight down the line there, Jonathan. If we finish 15th and win a trophy, we are better than everybody above us who hasn't won a trophy, says Kaz. In that scenario, like if United finish that bad, 15th, Jadon Sancho will be coming back to Man United, and United will still be performing better than anybody else. I think Kaz inadvertently didn't realise the Sancho stipulations you put in there then, but no, that is a good one. Xerxes and MDL must play today. The reality at this moment in time is that we are not good enough for top four. Yes, right now it would seem that way, the way we've started, but I feel like this team has got. If you start look, you bring in like John says there, you bring in Matthias de Ligt and Joshua Zirkzee, then you start to form a team. I think United can improve, whereas everyone else, like I said on the opening weekend of the season, pretty much, I've said, look, I expected everyone who has performed well and who's up there to be where they are. United are still behind, but I think that United have got more room to progress. I think United have got more room to actually get better with what we've got, and that's what we're hoping to see this season, I think. If that's Mourinho's comments, we and the media would be laughing at him. So back Ten Hag, these are just fighting comments. No, basically, it's Ten Hag saying exactly what he feels is right to the questions that are asked. And it's the same questions that are always going to be asked. There's no fighting talk. He's just backing himself, really. And he thinks that last season we did outperform everyone else. In his mind, he's convinced by it. He is. So if he is, like I said, you want the manager to actually have a bit of confidence in himself, don't you? And that's the main thing, and that's important in what he said there. He is backing himself at least. There's no doubts in his mind. So really, that's the first thing to cover. And then it's just convincing everybody else. But I do believe that his confidence needs to spread across the fan base, and we need to see something to give us that same confidence going through the rest of this season, I feel. After the first 2 games, it's clear Ten Hag does not know what he's doing regarding the team. From Mike, You Got Raw says, does 4th and a trophy have him keeping his job? 4th keeps his job, mate, without a trophy. I want another trophy, of course I do. I'm greedy, and everybody, every single fan would say you want a trophy at the start of the season. I think United fans have been, we've been spoilt compared to other clubs over the last couple of seasons. Like how many, 3 finals, 2 trophies. It's what it is, isn't it? That's where United are actually at, our fan base. It's a tough one because where we've seen underperforming games in the league, we've actually seen trophies lifted. And there would be millions of fans across the country who would accept that. Please keep liking the video, guys. Just under 1,000 in the room. We've only got 160 likes, though. So please give the video a like. Let's get that up near 300 at least. For the amount of people in the room, we should have that number in. Thank you, everybody. Keep your comments flooding in. We do have another super chat in the house I just want to get through before we move on. Couple to get through, actually. Eric, again, what's your thoughts on Sancho? I'm with Ricky. I don't know what Ricky said in terms of Jadon Sancho, but I'll get into that. I'm going to talk about what happened with Sancho as well in a minute. Cheers for that, Eric. Umar with another super chat. Thank you, mate. Says, sell a player to Saudi to cover Eric Ten Hag's contract. Fire him. And for God's sake, finally hire a competent manager who can manage a big club. Strong words. And then Rahul says, did Goldbridge call you out in his book? I heard. Don't know. I just feel like people in them positions actually shouldn't be writing books in the first place. But hey, I don't know. I don't think he would give anyone any recognition for anything at all in anything that he's accomplished in his life. Winning trophies is important. We're on a drought before Eric Ten Hag, but performances matter if we want to be back to challenging. Hey, look, trophies is important. It does help morale. It does probably give you confidence going forward as well. Back to some Ten Hag quotes. We need to get through as many of these as we can. Not enough recognition for my work? ? I don't care. We brought in young players. We develop them. We win trophies. What more can I do? As far as I know, the fans are happy with me. He does. This is what I mean by the United bubble, by the way. If everybody's seen what Ten Hag... if Ten Hag's seen what everybody was saying in reality, because he is protected by the club, and I know this for certain, I've been there, it's certain questions that can get asked. He doesn't hear about anything of what the fans say. Certain bits of media he will hear and leaked out that he can actively comment on in press conferences, but Ten Hag really has no idea what's going on with the fans and how they react. And that's clearly shown there, and as far as I know, the fans are happy with me. Yeah, you can hear the singing and chanting around Wembley when you've beaten Manchester City. But again, that's not your bread and butter. It's not your league games that you were getting battered at home with last season. And I think that's where the club are probably at fault in not helping Ten Hag as well. I think sometimes letting the fans know how... letting Ten Hag know how the fans feel is important as well. But it's not about me, it's about Man United. Of course, we have higher goals and we are very ambitious. The club, the board, the team, everyone sees the potential and you have to work very hard to achieve the goals. Best comment from Ten Hag from the press conference right there. Right down the middle, saying it as it is. No issue with that at all. Ten Hag on Harry Maguire. Nobody can play every game. Harry will definitely play a big role for us. I'm happy for him on his return to England. And I think it says a lot about his performance in the last few games. Yeah, I agree with that on Harry Maguire. I'm glad that he's back in the England fold. Honestly, it was unlucky not to be in there. I think England might have done better if Harry Maguire was in the England squad for the Euros. I do. But hey, look, he's gone now and we're concentrating on United. Harry Maguire needs to perform this season. I think he's going to be sold anyway in the summer, or he's going to be released anyway. We have over 1,000 in the room. Thank you, everybody. Keep your comments flooding in. We're getting through as many as you can. We're talking Ten Hag. I'm going to move on to Jadon Sancho right now. Eric just asked in the actual super chat that's just come in. Jadon Sancho, thanks, but no thanks. Jadon Sancho, a player that was loaned out to Dortmund last season after the fallout with Erik Ten Hag. He has come back. He's still not changed his bio. 2 minutes through the door at Chelsea. Chelsea player, Chelsea bio, recognition to them and everything like that. And then a passing little remark on social media about United and thanking people at the club for the support and everything like that. Like, seriously? Oh, my God. Like, good riddance. See you later, Jadon Sancho. A man that cannot be told he is wrong, it would seem. I cannot wait for it to be officially official. Like, obviously, for this season, you can see there at the bottom of the screen, Jadon Sancho's a Chelsea player, but he's still on United's books. So until Jadon Sancho officially leaves Manchester United, we are not going to know exactly what happened. I bet he cannot wait to be officially off the books so we can say his side of the story on Ten Hag. And I think we will get it. And we'll get it double barrel, I think, from Jadon Sancho. I think he cannot wait. I don't think he cannot wait to get over the line with this deal properly and then let loose on Erik Ten Hag. Because there clearly was no makeup. It was all just all for the pictures. Ten Hag back in training with Sancho. The pictures of them being okay. Ten Hag saying that he's actually okay with Jadon Sancho. Ten Hag is not okay with Jadon Sancho. And neither is Sancho with Ten Hag. So the reality is that these two were never going to make up. It was a case of let's just put smiles on, the Disney faces are on, and let's get Jadon Sancho out the door as quickly as possible. And we have absolutely nailed Chelsea with this Jadon Sancho deal. 25 million is a steal in some people's eyes for Jadon Sancho. I disagree. I think 25 million is good business for Manchester United. The problem has gone, and we've got money to move on and spend. But we may not even have to spend that amount of money on somebody else, because we could develop people through in this new football structure. I think this is where United and what Ten Hag is talking about. I think the structure and him and what he says when everybody's on the same page and they're all looking in the same direction is that, do you know what? We've got younger players coming through. We want to get rid of the prima donnas and start to bring through and develop our players of our own. So Jim Ratcliffe says, I want to find the next Mbappe instead of buying him. We're doing that, and we're seeing that with the likes of Bobby Martin coming in and Kune and Collier and Mas and these players coming through, Garnacho, Mainu. Like, they're probably looking at this and going, there is a forward in the United ranks that can come through and cover Jadon Sancho's position rather than go out and buy another player. Like, Garnacho basically is Sancho's replacement. When you look at what we've bought and what we've brought through, like, Garnacho came through last season after Jadon Sancho said goodbye to Manchester United and Ten Hag. He literally did at the start of the season. So it was down to Garnacho. He was the natural replacement. So really what they're saying is Manchester United's recruitment team, the new footballing structure, is younger players coming through like Garnacho and getting rid of the headaches, which are Jadon Sancho, the overpaid prima donna players that can't take no for an answer and think that they've already made it. He has accomplished nothing in his career. I'll say that again. What has Jadon Sancho contributed and won in his career, apart from obviously the Carabao Cup? Not even part of the FA Cup last season because he wasn't part of the team. He just gets too much hype and too much praise for not being that good, Jadon Sancho. And do you know what? His passing statement and leaving, I'm not going to stand by it. I'm constantly going to be with Ten Hag on the Sancho debate all the time. I backed Ten Hag when Sancho left. I backed Ten Hag now over Jadon Sancho. I think it's the right move. And the club have backed Ten Hag over Jadon Sancho. And that's the most important thing out of all of this. The fact that Jadon Sancho has gone is, for me, and the work that's been done this summer, is Ineos fully backing a manager. And I feel like this is the first summer where we've seen a Manchester United manager get what he wants in full. Now, Ten Hag, I still feel has had more than what other managers have in the past. But this is a statement summer. And this is Ineos going, he is our man. 100% Ten Hag is the manager to take Manchester United forward. That is the biggest thing to take from this summer out of everything, I feel. And I actually feel like going forward, if he does manage to actually get through this season and still keep a job, I think he will become better because he's listening. Like the video yesterday on Agate that we talked about in the conversations about him not being his favourite player and Agate not actually top of his list to come in, but then speaking with the recruitment team and Wilcox and everything like that actually convinced Ten Hag to go more on Agate and forget about McTominay and Amrabat like he was hoping to keep. So this is what I think Ten Hag will learn with the right structure behind him. So let's see him going forward from here. Adam, you support United, the club, managers, players come and go. Dead right, Andrew. Good comment, mate. Totally agree with that one, pal. It is like we are United supporters, and like we're always going to be here. Managers and players are not, and I think sometimes the managers and the players at the club should recognise that. And you know what? Like we're the ones that are making United as great as they are. Like us paying our way, paying our subscription, our tickets, and everything. We're the ones that are basically keeping Manchester United where they are because of its the fan base is the biggest in the world. So really, you look at it and you say, without us, where would you be? Don't ignore us. And I think, like, when you look at what Ten Hag is saying there, I think he's on the edge of getting it right with United. I don't think he's a million miles away. It's just sometimes when he opens his mouth, I think it puts a few people off. Like, I just laugh at what Ten Hag says. And a lot of the time, I'm actually looking at it and going, do you know what? I know what he's trying to say, but he just cannot get it out. He cannot get it out in English. It's lost in translation, and sometimes what he says it completely puts people off. And I just look at it and go, well, let's just watch what happens on the pitch. We need results on the pitch. That's the most important thing. Almost creeping up to 300 live likes. Keep them likes coming in, everybody. Well over 1,100 in the room with us right now. Thanks for tuning in on this early morning show, everyone. Please do keep liking the video. We should have a lot more than what we've actually got there. Show some appreciation for the opening. Well, not the opening day of the season. That's already gone. But the biggest game of the season so far. Today is Liverpool versus Manchester United. It is huge. We'll be live outside Old Trafford later on with the build-up and warm-up to the show, to the game, guys, as well. Loads of content coming today. And obviously we'll have the vlogs and reaction after the game outside Old Trafford. Me and Jay will be back later on this evening with the breakdown show. Yes, the breakdown show is back as well. That's going to be a bit later on this evening when we've got back from the game. And there's loads to actually get through. In terms of transfers and United looking forward, we touched on SANCHO yesterday being a possibility for United going forward. We'll look at that. But again, Anthony Robinson from Fulham has been talked about as the next left-back target. I remember, like, when I was outside Alton Towers talking about this. You guys watched the video. I just didn't see United buying him at the time. But still, like, the athleticism. And you can see with the quote there at the bottom of your screen, the tweet out from this morning. Robinson is in Manchester United's sights because of his ability and athleticism. Fulham rates him at about 30 million. They do not want to lose him, but may not stand in his way if an offer arrives. I think he's got 3 years left on his contract. That's from Alan Nixon, a journalist who's reporting on this one. Manchester United are lining up a move for Fulham left-back Anthony Robinson if they can raise the funds before the January transfer window. So, could we be going for Anthony Robinson in January is the question. Would you take him in January? Do you want to say... Do you know what? I think Manchester United will look, first of all, at how Malacia comes back, how Luke Shaw's first half of the season goes, and whether Hamas actually comes through. I wouldn't be jumping the gun and buying a left-back in January, personally. It's like a desperation. If we need him, we've got to get him. But if we don't... and we have got players coming through, then I just say, look, don't jump the gun. There's no need to jump the gun, I don't think. Let's see how Malacia recovers. It is looking good for Tyrell Malacia at the moment, so that's a good thing as well. Let's just see how Shaw returns. Let's see if Hamas comes through. Look, at the end of the day, Anthony Robinson is 27 years old. Going into next season, a 28-year-old, and this is why reports like this don't convince me. Like, I don't get me wrong, I like the player. He's a good player. He is a good player, but I just look at it and go, he doesn't fit that profile again. It doesn't make sense with everything else that we've done. it doesn't make sense. 27, going on 28 by the time of next season. I don't think United will be investing into Anthony Robinson personally. I can't actually see why we would. The play's good, but United have moved away from that type of signing now. It has to be someone younger. Like the Kodoglu one made perfect sense to me, but United just didn't have the money in the end to make the deal happen. And I think they will be looking at someone like that again, probably in the summer. I think we've got enough. Look, you've got Dello and Mazraoui who can cover Amas, Shaw and Malacia on the left-hand side. I think that's more than enough. We've spoken about this before. Phil Sheridan in the Super Chat says United will win the league this year. Well, we are 6 points behind City already, so a win today is important to stay within touching distance, Phil. Let's say that, shall we? That's what's important. Just getting points on the board, I think. I think we'll be solid enough today. And by the way, I'm going to say it now. I said it last night. I'll say it again on the warm-up show outside Old Trafford later on. I think United will beat Liverpool today. I'm going 2-1 United. I think Liverpool tend to bottle it when they come to Old Trafford. The only thing that I'm actually looking at, which is a concern for me, is the Arne Slot effect. Like Klopp, we'd figured out. We'd figured out how he plays. And don't get me wrong, there were certain moments in them games last year with Klopp in charge of Liverpool where Liverpool took the chances, United would have been blown away. But we were always in the games, whether it be Liverpool having the majority of the game, we were always in the games. We're never blown away. And obviously, even at Anfield last season, Liverpool had all the play, but we kept a clean sheet. We literally were unbeaten against Liverpool last season in 3 games. So you should be going into this game today very, very confident. I feel like United will be looking at this and going, right, this is our opportunity to actually prove that we are up for the fight. This is a massive game. Like if United win this, I said it last night, if we win this by 2 goals, we go ahead of Liverpool in the league going into the international break. And if results go our way today, i.e. Palace stop Chelsea from winning, and Newcastle and Tottenham draw, then United will be in the top 4. Hallelujah. What a good start to the season. And a draw or a win today will be Ten Hag's best ever start to a Premier League season as Manchester United manager. That's after 3 games. And obviously you only play 3 games before the international break, so we're calling this the start. Yes. Let's get into a few more of your comments. Comment to me about Robinson as well. 7 goals in over 70 appearances for us. Sancho is going to be a massive loss. Sarcasm, love it. Almac says, why Robinson in January when Ferdy Kodoglu went for 25 million? We just didn't have the money. And I don't think we're going to have the money to spend that amount on a player in January either, mate, personally. Right. What else have we got comment-wise here? Bear with me 1 second, guys. Sorry, my screen's just switched off there a second. Do you think Shaw and Malacia leave next year? Not Malacia. Shaw, I think there's a chance that United may try and move Luke Shaw on. To be honest, you're not going to get much for Luke Shaw now. So United may be thinking, do we let Shaw just play out his contract? We're not going to get much money for him. There isn't enough in the market for Luke Shaw at his age. So, really, I just feel like United are just going to look at Shaw, like, what's he going to be, 30 going into next season or something like that? You might get a bit of money for him, but not a lot. Not on huge wages either. I think he's on about 150, Shaw. So, when you look at that and the age that he is, that probably suits. They may just let him be there. They may look at it and go, we can't make a lot of money off Shaw. Maybe we just that experience and him being there is going to help us more than actually trying to sell him. But yeah, good question, Jordy. We are rubbish, simple rubbish. Ten Hag out, sack him now. Ali's well up for it. Is he not 27? Isn't that too old for Ineos? Says Silly Goose regarding Robinson. That's what I just said. Yep, I think it is personally. I think we sell Ericsson and Lindelof in Jan, keep up wages and some funds, says Jordan. I don't know. Like, obviously, Ericsson and Lindelof in January will both be able to talk and pre-negotiate a new contract overseas. So maybe they're looking. I can't see Lindelof going anywhere in the Prem, and neither will Ericsson, I don't think. I think they'll be looking abroad. I think they'll be looking at negotiating them deals. If United can sell them to in January, which I don't think they will because we need the squad, Ten Hag has already said this, we need the squad to compete. And if United are still in Europe, still in the Carabao Cup and still in the FA Cup by the time January comes around, which I expect us to be because we don't start FA Cup till January, and United are probably going to feel the strong side in the League Cup going forward. We've already got that little free draw in Barnsley, so we're already into the fourth round because we will beat Barnsley. I'm not disrespecting them in any way by saying that. I think that is the reality. And obviously I expect United to be through in this Europa League new format as well. So really, I don't see Manchester United getting rid of anyone in January, especially not first team squad players, because we're going to need everyone. And the games are going to start coming thick and fast. Tiredness will creep in. And we don't know what injury situation we're going to be in by January anyway, do we? So, yeah, I don't see it happening. We're over 300 likes, by the way. Thank you, everybody. Creeping up to 350. Can you get to 400 likes while we're actually live before we finish up, everyone? Still well over 1,100 in the room with us right now. Keep liking the video. Get your comments in, guys. We're getting through as many of them as we possibly can. I hope you're right, Adam, or we will be in 17th. We would be winning games if we had Haaland scoring hat-tricks. Makes coaching easy, says Elmac. So where would City be without Haaland? Honestly, like 7 goals already this season. I know it's a stupid question to ask because he's a City player. So it's pointless even bringing it in. Like, what would you be without him? You've actually got him, so it is a pointless question. I get that, but he is an absolute beast of a goal scorer, and it's ridiculous. Like 2 hat-tricks in a row again. Honestly, without them, I don't think they've got that finishing touch, personally. I don't. I think they'll still win and be right up there challenging for the title without him, but with him, he just pretty much confirms wins every single week, doesn't he? Gets them out of so much crap as well, because they aren't playing. They played well yesterday, I'll say that, but there are games where they haven't been playing well. He just scores goals, and everyone forgets about the bad performance. And that's probably what Ten Hag was alluding to as well, really. It's about the results on the pitch, and that's got him trophies. To counter it, obviously everyone will come back and say, well, we finished 8th in the league, so you can't be bigging up playing well in the FA Cup and forgetting about the Premier League, which everyone sees as the bread and butter. But look, the Premier League is the be-all and end-all, and we do need to start performing better in the league. And Ten Hag, I don't think we'll get away with it this season. I will back Ten Hag till Christmas or May, end of the season then. He needs to earn the trust of us fans. Simple as that. Every season is a new season. Yes, he won us 2 trophies in 2 years. In amongst that, a 4th and 8th Premier League position. It's what you look at as the bigger thing. Do you look to the glass half full or the glass half empty in that scenario? A lot of people aren't impressed. Like, the league is what we go and watch week in, week out. I'm sat there, and it's like Kaz says, she just doesn't enjoy watching United. Like, she wants to just enjoy watching United again. And I think Arsenal fans will argue that. They love watching their team right now. They love the football that they're playing. They're really enjoying going watching the club. Whereas United are not, but they're winning trophies. So which is more important? And that's the question, really, that I think all United fans are sort of debating right now. You can back up every single argument with trophies always. And Ten Hag has got that in his locker. Literally, it's there. The trophies are there. The silverware is in. Would Arsenal swap being in the Champions League and coming close to winning the league twice with this crazy Man City side over winning 2 trophies? I don't know. They are competing for the best trophies, the biggest trophies. United are competing for the cups. And picking up trophies is great, but still, it's not Manchester United. We need to be competing at the highest level. We need to be dining at the top table of European football again. That's what we need to be doing. But yeah. Guys, make sure that you are subscribed to Forever United TV so you miss none of the matchday content that's coming up today. Free content coming your way constantly, as well as all the live shows. We bring you all of the reaction outside of Old Trafford. That's coming up later on. Before the game and after the game, and then there's another live show to break down later on tonight with me and Jay. So make sure that you're tuned in. You have pressed that subscribe button. Your bell notifications are on so you miss out on none of the free content flying your way from Forever United TV. But that pretty much does finish up our morning show. The day has started. Match day is here, everybody. Get your comments in below how you think today is going to go. Talk to me about Robinson, Sancho, Ten Hag's comments in the press conference. Get all of them comments in the comment section below, everybody. Massive thank you again. All super chats, everybody with your comments. We just hit over 350 likes as well. If everyone in the video right now give the video a like, we should get over 400 live likes just as you leave the video. That would be kind. Thank you, everyone. And I will see you all outside Old Trafford just after lunchtime today with a little bit of a match day vibe build-up going on. Thanks, everybody. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you all later on.